Hi everybody, this is Laura back to do my weekend review videos. Uh, I always mean to try to do a review of something like right after I read a book or right after I watch a movie, and I just never get a chance. So everything piles up, but I have all this stuff that I want to say about everything still, and I can't get around to doing just separate um, individual videos for it. So I think I'm gonna stick with just reviewing everything in one big chunk at the end of the week, or technically at the beginning of the week, because usually Monday is when I'm off. So it's everything from the week before. I think I'm gonna keep doing that unless anything changes. Most likely not, since my schedule's gonna be getting a lot crazier in about a month from now when the school starts again. I have right now, I'm going to do my, if I can find it, book reviews for the week. I seem to be averaging about 3 books per week now. Usually at the beginning of the week, if I have a day off or something, I can breeze through maybe the first two, but then stuff gets crazy and I can finish up about one more. If I had my way, I would just read every day and probably read 7 books a week, a book per day. But unfortunately, I have other responsibilities that I have to do. But apparently, everybody tells me that I read way too much and that I read like crazy because with after this week's 3 books, that is 99 books that I have read this year. And my next one next week it's going to be my 100th. So isn't that exciting? Uh, Anywho, my first book that I am reviewing today is The Moving Finger by Agatha Christie. This is a used copy, obviously. This is can't even see it. This is a Miss Marple novel. Uh, but Miss Marple actually appears in very little of it. It is set in a quiet country village called Limstock, narrated by this guy, Jerry Burton, who is a war veteran, and he was injured in a plane crash. So he is convalescing, so to speak, in the village under doctor's orders, and he's there with his sister. And everyone in the village is getting these anonymous, like threatening letters accusing them of various indiscretions and all that sort of thing. And then even he and his sister, who are newcomers, get a letter. And as if the letters aren't bad enough, there's also a woman also apparently commits suicide because of the contents of one of the letters that she got just has shocked her so much. So Jerry and his sister try to figure out what is going on and who is sending these anonymous letters, like they have a madman running about or what. Uh, and it's not until probably about 2/3 of the way through when the vicar's wife calls in her friend Miss Marple to come and take a look at things because she knows Miss Marple will be able to figure it out. Jerry, the narrator, he gets subconsciously kind of the right ideas in his head, and he has dreams that are like kind of giving him the answers, but he can't put it together. So Miss Marple is there to figure it all out. I really, really adored this book. I seem to love all of the Miss Marple books. It's not just Miss Marple herself because she's hardly in this book. She could have been taken out. I was fine with her in it the way she was, kind of like a Deus ex machina, I guess. Shows up, solves everything, and okay, it's all right. But just the characters in these books, they're more the quiet, very cozy country village type settings, and none of Christie's experiments with espionage and political thrillers or any of that crap. I'm really not a fan of those. I love the cast of characters that show up usually in the Miss Marple novels and everything going on. I really enjoy them, and they're such quick reads. All of her books are, but I think all of her Miss Marple ones usually hit the mark for me. So I'm gonna give The Moving Finger a 10 out of 10. It's up there close to maybe not my top 10 Agatha Christie books, but it's probably pretty close. I really really loved it. My second book that I am reviewing, I had kind of less favorable feelings about, but it is Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkelez. What was I thinking reading this book? I don't know. It is a contemporary romantic YA novel. I don't usually read contemporary. I don't read romance. This has no fantasy, mystery, or anything in it. What was I thinking? I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of got like a West Side Story-esque vibe to it. It's, this Mexican guy from, the wrong side of the tracks who's a gangster, and this perfect, rich, blonde girl who's, popular and all of this stuff, who originally they hate each other, but then they become partners in chemistry class against their will, and what do you know, they fall in love. Okay. Before I read this book, I would never have just picked it out on my own, but I have seen video reviews on it. I've read reviews on Goodreads. Everything just kind of recommending it in spite of itself, saying, it's full of cliches and there's nothing new, it's cheesy, but I really enjoyed it nonetheless. So I think I was expecting it to charm me in spite of myself and all my prejudices and my picky book tastes that, I don't like this kind of thing. Has a really stupid cover too. This picture is pretty bad. But so I picked it up, and the first couple chapters I actually thought were engaging in some way, building up into the story. But yes, everything that you've heard about it is true. It really is cliche after cliche after cliche. I think, who was it? Someone, or maybe more than one person, has likened it to one of those ABC Family TV movies. And God, that is exactly what it is. And I do not watch those movies. So that's why I think, I don't know, this book, it was a really quick and easy read, despite it's actually kind of deceivingly thick. You will breeze through it within a matter of hours. I don't know, the characters were underdeveloped. It was cliche filled to the brim, bursting out of the pages. Nothing new whatsoever. Cheesy. Really, really cheesy. And it was enjoyable in some parts, than others I was just like, oh, shaking my head, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't I would never really want to read it again, and I am not interested whatsoever in picking up the sequels about the guy, Alex is the guy in it. His brothers both star in sequels. Like, here's tiny picture on the back of the second one, Rules of Attraction, with another dumb cover. I am not going to be picking those up anytime soon. Not going to be reading those. I tried to do something different. It failed. This Perfect Chemistry gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I'm just not the right audience. I just can't read this kind of stuff. My last book that I have is, surprise, another Agatha Christie one. This time it is Towards Zero. And this is a superintendent battle mystery. He is one of her lesser known detectives. He actually works for Scotland Yard. This is his fourth and last, I believe, novel that he appears in. In this book, it deals with the issue, and one of the characters remarks in it that detective stories begin in the wrong place. The murders actually end, or the murder is the end of the story. Everything that has been going on culminating in a murder, that's the true heart of a mystery. So Agatha Christie tries that out in here, and the murder does not take place until probably about halfway through. Before that, it's getting to know the cast of characters and almost like a family drama type of thing, soap opera. Basically, it is about this man. What is his name? Neville Strange is visiting his rich aunt with his ex-wife also visiting, and with his new wife there, and he's trying to kind of get them to become friends, and tensions abound, and everyone's really tense. I guess no one is at ease, and you're just trying to figure out for the first half of the book, like, you don't even know who's going to be murdered or why. You're already trying to figure out, like, well, this person has a motive to kill this person, and this one could kill this person. It's kind of a shock if you don't know who actually gets killed when it does happen. Like, oh my god, that was what happened. Superintendent Battle himself, actually, he does not play a very big part in it at all. Yeah, I think Christie had been criticized before. I believe I remember reading that she puts her murders too late into the books. Uh, I guess some critics maybe wanted it right at the very beginning. I always have felt that they're just in the right spot, her usual place. But this one, I appreciate that she was trying to do something different. But the first half of the book was getting pretty draggy at points. Just kind of like, all right, let's just get this over with. I felt occasionally at times, and once the murder itself happened, it did pick up. But again, we're halfway through already at that point. So this book for me, it was a not bad, but it's not one of her best in my opinion. It's not one of my favorites. The very cheesy ending is kind of like with Appointment with Death. If I believe I mentioned that quickly in review. Everyone is paired up with a cheesy romance so conveniently, like, oh, this person and this person and this person and this person and that one, and everything's okay and happy. I'm like, a little bit too over the top, I think. Uh, and oh, I forgot to mention with the moving finger. I don't remember if I had an inkling of the true solution to that, the anonymous letters and everything. I think it would be safe to say that I did solve it, at least partially. This one, it was very obvious to me who the killer was, but I didn't know the motive. I was totally wrong on, so I was only partially correct again. Tour Zero is going to be a 7 out of 10, so not great, but not bad. Not my cup of tea. I think halfway through the book is, yeah, it's too late to put in the murder, because I was kind of saying, like, get on with it for a good portion of the book. That is it for my book reviews for this week. I'll see you guys probably again next Monday with some more book reviews and possibly some movie ones as well. I hope you have a great week.